zapatero.
And we are live! Welcome back to the new episode of Supreme Verdict. I'm your host, Jon Dunning, with my co-host, Pixie Kitten.
Hey, everybody!
How's it going?
I mean, it's going great. We're here again doing this thing, and I'm super excited because I'm wearing a costume tonight for our theme on the show.
Yeah, I just punched my microphone, but besides that, I'm doing okay. So, ooh, witchy woman. All right, let's do this. And before we introduce all the things, all the people, we do want to say this is presented by Cardsphere.com because they are simply the very best place to buy, sell, and trade your paper Magic the Gathering cards online.
Oh, yeah.
So let's talk. So let's kind of set the stage real quick. This is a big night, PK. A few episodes of Supreme Verdict have just been crazy because it was all leading up to the eventual championship singles match featuring our undefeated 3-0 Jason Alt. He is the odds-on favorite, but he has no hardware around that taut waist of his yet, because he first has to earn it against Cat Light, Hellcat, MTG, and Alex Kessler from Masters of Modern. That is our championship singles match coming up in December. But first, this is a very special night also, PK, because this is the debut of the Teams League, and huge start to kick this off with some really crazy competitors tonight.
Yeah. What does the Teams League mean exactly?
Sure.
How's this going to work?
So the Teams League is going to be, I have rules, and I will explain those said rules in a little bit, but this is a nice...
sorry.
Well, no, it's all good. Before this, the singles is kind of a free-for-all, 3-person match, and everyone for themselves, basically. This is, now they have partners, and they not only have to win this argument, but also work together, because, Magic is a team sport, or should be, because Two-Headed Giant is a lot of fun. But let's go to the other members of the panel, and let's head over to the couch. That's the producer, Johnny Slivers, the question maker. How are we doing? You have your finger securely placed on the pulse of the chat tonight.
Sure do.
And Zuby is going to be checking in and out with the game because he's also watching a Rays game right now, but he's also checking the facts. So, Mr. the Zuby, how you doing tonight?
Doing pretty well. The Rays are up 4-0 right now, and it's the top of the 5th inning with 2 outs. It's 3-1. Currently, Chirinos is at bat, so I'm doing great.
Excellent. And who's your little friend that's serving you guys liquor?
Oh my God, that's so cute. I love that.
Zuby, is this a holdover from the D&D show?
Apparently it is. Who is that?
What the what?
You have a little drunken hobbit, so that's...
I love it. And I do have a little friend with me tonight, too, with some Angry Orchard. Oh. Because, I need to be sober for when I'm fact-checking.
Exactly. It's like you're running for president or something. Johnny, you actually have a very good special guest on your end.
So just bear in mind, this is nice.
Ooh.
So nice.
Yeah.
It's a Talisker 10-year from the Isle of Skye, and it is a smoky, but not like Isla whiskey kind of smoky peaty, and then it's a little bit of honey, but not dry, like sweet. It's dry. It's awesome. It's awesome.
It's awesome.
It's so awesome, and definitely just wanted to get in there and get a nice bottle before those 25% tariffs hit that Scotch whiskey.
Excellent. And it is very important. Johnny's going to be checking the chat because just like in the singles league, the team league the round 3 is also going to be decided by the chat themselves. So you guys get to become the judges or the grand arbiters because we are, kind of talking Magic the Gathering, so we got to tie that in there. So let's PK, why don't we go ahead and meet said people? So first off,
let's
talk about team constructed criticism. That's Spencer Howland and Mason Clark. MTG constructed competitive podcast fueled by iced coffee and potato vodka. Hashtag always improving. So yes, Spencer and Mason, they have a very successful, long-running podcast about constructed Magic. How do you think that that's going to translate to their chances of victory tonight?
I think they have a really good chance at victory tonight. They're, they've got the history with the game. So, but will that be enough?
I don't know. What do the bones tell you? You're in the witch's garb.
The bones aren't clear yet. I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen.
Like the village elder in Willow. The bones tell me nothing. All right, let's meet the next team, and that is an amalgamation. So I just want to tell everyone out there in the team league, if you want to compete, you don't have to just come on with your podcast buddies. You could join another podcast or just grab another friend.
Anyone, a rando.
I mean, just the bum off the street. And if you're in the Seattle area, there is plenty, which the next team will know what I'm talking about. So the next team is an amalgamation, like I said. The Team Ponder Blocks. That's TJ Rogers and Coleman Falk of Ponder Podcast and Building Blocks Podcast, NBA Jam All-Stars, and they're basically my neighbors. So that's why they are here tonight.
Oh my goodness. So they're here because they're your neighbors?
Only time will tell, but they are very good streaming hosts, play-by-plays. TJ's done it for Magic proper. Do you think that those kind of skill levels will help them be victorious tonight, PK?
It's gonna help, but I don't know if that's gonna be enough. I actually last night saw TJ on the Card Kingdom. What was it called? The game show. Yes. So that was fun. That was really good. There seemed like a lot of impromptu stuff going on, so that might help here. But I don't know. Like, will it be enough? Still not sure.
We'll see. Not sure. Yeah, he gets.
The less prepared I am, the better I do. It's
okay.
Quiet, you're not here yet. No. So introducing first, the constructed criticism podcast guys, Spencer Howland and Mason Clark. Welcome to the match.
What's up?
Thanks for having us. We're glad to be here and win. It's all I do.
And win. When Johnny Slivers told me what the show was about, I knew instantly that I had picked the right teammate and that Mason had picked the wrong one.
I went to go and watch an episode of this show to prepare myself, and at the beginning, John said it's movie fights. I said, and I turned it off because I've watched movie fights for years. So I prepared for this for years.
I'm just saying, I don't know what that is, but once again, I picked the right teammate. That's all I'm saying.
Perfect. And we will find out if that is the right person, because we'll see if the theme of the night, because every match is different. It has its own theme. We'll see if that's conducive to Mason's movie fight knowledge. Again, don't sue us, Screen Junkies. This is just for fun.
I think that's defined media.
Introducing next, the Team Ponder Blocks, Coleman, Falk, and TJ Rogers. TJ, you're coming out of the hosting seat and into the fire, essentially. What do you guys think? Are you guys feeling good?
And also, what's on your heads?
Oh, yeah. You put on a hat, and I have a marvelous hat collection, and I thought, well, I don't want to be left out.
Yeah, and then he just put this on my head.
He's a kangaroo.
Perfect.
Oh, I thought this was a dog.
No, it's a kangaroo.
I thought the first competition was TJ singing Rock Lobster. I don't understand. Is that not what's happening?
No,
it was a giant clam.
If you ask, I will deliver. I'm excited. Yesterday I had to do what you're doing.
Right.
And now I don't. So
perfect. All right. Well, let's get right into it. First let's go back to the couch. What do you think? So we had the Twitter poll that we sent out, and this was the closest as far as who people thought were, picking the winner, and I think it was like 50-40 or something like that. So in favor of Team Ponder Blocks. So I'm going to go to the couch. Early predictions on who's going to win the first ever Team League match of Supreme Verdict.
I'd say, I don't know. I think movie trivia is going to help you here, but you gotta have a good touch of madness. So as long as you can bring some crazy, you'll be fine.
Yeah, I have to agree with Johnny. I think early on constructive criticism might come out strong, but I think the Ponder Blocks may surprise us in the end.
Very nice. And for the first time, I will say that this the Twitter poll is actually going to matter a little bit, because usually it's a random order to get who picks first on who gets the ball and who gets to punt it. But I've decided, as Grand Arbiter, that we're going to have the Twitter poll winner get that advantage. So actually Team Ponder Blocks in round one gets to decide if they go first with the questions or they kick it off over to constructive criticism. So, and more on that later. We'll get to that. But first, let's go to the rules. This is 4 rounds. Each round, teams will be asked to answer a question. Round consists of 1 minute per team member for opening arguments, rebuttals, and closing arguments. Rounds 1, 2, and 4 judged by Grand Arbiter on accuracy, strength of argument, and teamwork. Rounds 3, winner voted victorious by the chat. So everyone get ready to vote in round 3. Tiebreaker round 5 will be played if needed. So does anyone have any questions about the rules? Nope.
Good to go.
Yeah, in there, it looks like I might lose.
Yeah,
I didn't notice that.
That's
a good point.
Yeah, so when this was originally pitched to me, I really thought that one of the rules was going to be that I'd win.
Oh, sure, yeah. So that was
according to my script here, you win in round 4. So
yeah.
Okay, we're late bloomers.
I can't come up with that.
Oh, that's what that means.
So just to be clear, like this
numbers mean?
It's a little bit different from the singles. So like when PK asks the questions, you guys will decide amongst the two in the teammates which one will have the first 60 seconds, and then the other teammate will have the second 60 seconds. So you guys aren't talking over each other. So that's why teamwork is a really important factor of the judging, because you guys have to kind of form a conducive argument together. So Team Ponder Blocks, are you ready?
Let's go.
Yeah, why not?
Team Constructive Criticism, are you ready?
I was born ready.
Always.
Then let's wipe the board!
I'm ready and willing.
Like a really cool graphic right now.
I'll see it in 20 seconds.
Fun fact, my screen at least so I hope I don't need to watch this stream in order to compete in this game, otherwise we're going to be in big trouble.
I think we're good. All right, here we go.
Oh, we got the Rich arm
PK,
again.
do you have the questions handy?
I have the questions handy, yes.
PK will also be keeping time, so 60 seconds on the clock. TJ and Coleman, are you guys going to be answering first or kicking it off to Spencer and Mason?
I'm a big fan of Cowards Can't Block Warriors.
Yeah, me too. I hear that's game time.
Cowards Can't Block Warriors.
Totally. So,
He's saying he's going first.
What does that mean?
Perfect. All right, so Ponder Blocks on the clock first. PK, you ready with the question?
Are you feeling bold or intimidated yet?
No, Mike Mason says that on a daily basis to me, so I just am so used to it.
He loves it.
I literally say that once per event.
Okay.
Those are rookie numbers. You got to pump those numbers up.
I don't know why people's ears are bleeding in chat, but we're going to start with the first question.
Oh, probably because I screamed, let's wipe the board. At least I didn't scream, let's wipe my... Anyways, on with the question.
Okay, here we go. Ah, yes, the October season, a time of leaf peeping, Christmas decoration sales displays, and pumpkin-flavored everything. Truly the most wonderful, horrifying time of the year. To celebrate this time of terror on Supreme Verdict, we have concocted a series of questions to put your horror crafting skills to the test. Let the B-rated horror movie plot begin. Question number 1. Halloween is rapidly approaching, which means it's time for costumes, candy, and trick-or-treating. Allowing yourselves to be kids again, we want to hear about your trick-or-treating plans this year. Please tell us the following. Which Magic the Gathering cards will inspire your costume this year? And which Planeswalker's house is a must-visit for trick-or-treating? Why is this Planeswalker's house the best for treats, tricks, and Halloween decorations?
Okay, so which one of you will be taking the first 60 seconds? Or do we need any question clarification before we officially start the clock?
So it's what are trick-or-treating plans, and is it a single Planeswalker that we're making sure to visit?
Like, if you have to hit
Planeswalker's house are you like, I have to go to this house because they're either going to have the best tricks or treats or Halloween decorations? And which Magic the Gathering card is inspiring your costume?
Hey, I'm going to defer to TJ on this one.
Okay. Okay, the clock is starting now.
Well, here's the thing. When I was a kid, and much like everybody else, what you really thought about was being an adult. And what do adults do when they're trick-or-treating, when they're spending their Halloween? They're getting hammered, they're having fun, and they're going and living life. Just like kids always wanted to be. So I'll tell you where we're heading. We're heading right up to Xanagos' house. Because not only is his house fully prepared for a revel, and that is slang for raven parties, but also he's dead, so we don't even need to worry about keeping the place together. We just get to go ham, trash the place, and let his mom deal with it when she gets back. I can't wait for it. I hope that you can't too. Now, Coleman and I, we're going to be going as some warriors from Theros, because what else do kids want to do except toga parties? We saw Animal House, even though we weren't allowed to.
I learned one thing from all of this. One thing.
Yeah.
Xenagos lives with his mom.
That's a great point.
Xenagos can't afford the rent. He's throwing too many ragers.
All right, 60 seconds on the clock for Coleman for your opening argument to piggyback off TJ.
All right.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, so Xenagos, I mean, we all know he's devoted to all of his parties. I mean, that's literally on the card. He has devotion on the card.
That's a great point.
And, I mean, what do you want out of a party other than just outright and total,
haste?
I mean, that's a good one, too.
I'm going to dock you, TJ.
Whoa.
I'm not really. Keep going.
I talked him some seconds.
I don't know of another word to use other than devotion. He is a one-track mind. You are trying to get completely messed up, and whether or not, who knows who's going to show up at that party either. It could be, Primeval Titan. It could be Emrakul, the Aeon's Torn. It could be whatever you want. And at the end of the day,
10 seconds.
You go to a party to meet people and to get really, really, really wasted.
According to me.
Yeah, and that's what the kids say too.
That's time.
For kids. Yeah. Excellent. Playing to the kids on that one. So let's go over to constructive criticism. Time for your opening argument. Who's going first, Spencer or Mason? For 60
Spencer,
seconds.
do you mind if I take the lead on this one, buddy?
Not at all. I do have a question. Are we answering the same question?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Mason, go ahead.
All right.
Okay.
Am I allowed to start talking?
Yep, go ahead.
All right, so unlike TJ and Cole over there, me and Spencer has a kid, I have an 8 and 9-year-old brother, and we're not trying to promote alcoholism at such a young age and parties all the time. There's more to Halloween than just partying and alcohol and stuff like that. Ooh. So we're going to go to Oko's house, and we're going to dress up like Gilded Goose from MTG. The Goose game is so hot with the kids right now, honk, honk. Gilded Goose is one of the best cards in Standard. You've got to love Gilded Goose. And Oko fits the theme with food. He's got party. He can turn things into elk. That way my brothers and Maxwell, Spencer's kid, can pet them and have a good time. Plus, Oko's a party king. You think Xenagos is a party king? He's like the one where somone dies and the police come and they have to hide the body and your life's ruined because you rage too hard. Oko's like a good party. Everyone's fine. You have fun. You get tipsy still. I mean, he's not a bore, but you get to have a great experience at Oko's house. And you don't worry about your friends dying from alcohol poisoning or have to worry about whoa, what was in that drink you just gave them? That's all I'm saying about Oko's place.
All right. Perfect. Go to Spencer. PK, do we have 60
Am I
seconds
answering
on-
the same question?
You're building on the argument. Building on the argument.
Build on what I said, buddy. Because I know you agree 100%.
Yeah, I got some things to say about what Mason said. Tell me when.
Okay.
PK, we ready?
Go ahead. Yep.
Yeah, so here's the thing, is that Oko makes food. Candy is food. Halloween is about the candy. When you got a kid like me, he's 3 years old. He's going to be a tiger for Halloween. And what do tigers do? They eat geese and candy on Halloween. So my son's going to go around. He's going to be like, dude, that's a goose. My kid loves animals. He's all hyped up on candy, which Oko's making. What else do you want in the world? You know, you got a pillowcase. You're going to fill it with that food. It adds up 1-to-1 ratio, but when you've got Oko, it's more than a 1-for-1 because he's making that food constantly. It's like an infinity for one. And in Magic, what's better than that kind of advantage?
Oh, okay. Infinite loops.
Fruit Loops too. That's basically candy. That's all cereal is. That's all I'm saying.
All right. So now we're going to go back over to Ponder Block. So now this portion of the round is the rebuttal. So now you guys are going to start by saying why their idea is just not up to snuff, and we'll go a full 60 seconds. Start back with TJ.
Please tell me why I should feed my 3-year-old alcohol. Go.
All right, you want to go Coleman first? That's fine.
Yeah, I'm going to go first.
Yeah. All right.
Go ahead.
Whenever, go.
Okay. So you're telling me you don't want to go to a party where someone dies, and yet in your argument you say Oko throws the best parties where someone dies and you hide him in the middle of the house?
Not what was said at all.
That is exactly what you said, actually.
I think you've been partying too much with Xenagos over there. You're drinking a little. I was saying at Xenagos' party, someone dies, you have to hide it.
Okay. Anyway. So,
Uh-oh.
You know, I'm going to throw it over to TJ. I can't get over that.
That they're just going to a lame party, they're going to have a boring time, and they're going to have a bunch of food. But the candy is not the most important part about Halloween. It's the friends that we made along the way. And good luck making any friends without alcohol to boost your
Okay.
10 seconds?
Sure, I'll round out the other 10 seconds. Oko is broko, and so will his home be after we trash it.
All right. Let's go back over to the constructive criticism team to get their rebuttals. I mean, they came in hot at you guys. What do you have to say about that? 60 seconds on the clock?
Mason?
Go ahead.
So we've already just handled the part where they got confused about the Xenagos thing. I get it. Alcohol makes you a little tipsy. Also, I hate to break it to you, but at parties, you can just talk to people and walk up to them. I know that's a new thing for Magic players. Oh. We can just walk up and talk to people. It's okay. I have anxiety. You just have to go up there and do it. Sometimes just need a little sugar courage, not liquid courage. Also, Oko makes food. So the kids are having candy. Meanwhile, I'm having real food. Maybe I'm having a little pumpkin cheesecake as well, getting a little sweet in my life. But also, during all of this, the kids are making friends with each other and building lifelong friendships that are going to lead to healthy relationships. And they won't need to go to these parties and have these crazy raves and all these drinking and stuff like that and just promote a toxic culture. Instead, they're going to have fun and talk to each other.
And we got the geese, man. They go honk honk. That's all you need.
Honk honk. Kids love the goose game. I picked them up from school today. All the kids are going honk honk at me. Honk honk.
Why are you honking at children? All right.
They are honking at me. Like, the goose is so hot right
Still
now.
not good. Okay.
John doesn't know what the Untitled Goose Game is.
Obviously.
Yeah. All right, Spencer, 60 seconds. Close out the rebuttals.
Yeah, I would just say, you know, the goose is hot right now. Oh. You know, when you look at the memes and the things that the kids are doing, you know, back when I was a young one, you know, straight edge was the thing to do. Oh, yeah. But now it's about living that high in a new way. And you know, Oko can do it in all kinds of ways. His place is a place to party, and he steals crowns. Like, he's just handing out crowns left and right. You want to be the king of Halloween? Oko's got it on lock. He's got a crown for you, a crown for you. Now you're the king of geese, and that's where it's at. That's all I'm saying.
100%. Also, TJ and Cole didn't say what magic card was inspiring their costume during any of their thing, which is a whole part of the question. Uh-oh. So as such, I wish I could rebuttal how bad it was, but they just didn't do it. So I'm going to guess they wanted to be like, I don't know, some alcohol card in Magic?
They were being warriors. They did say that. They were going to wear a
Warriors?
party.
I didn't know the Warriors card. My bad. I'm sorry.
Oh, so
Look,
I got your back. There's no fake news on here, TJ and Coleman. I got your back.
You tried
Only
to do the
fake
Iron
news.
Chef rule, trying to make the food without the ingredient, but it backfired in Mason's face. Let's go.
Hey, I
before we
say-
get to
I
the
say-
arguments, let's go to the couch. All right, so we have a heated opening arguments and rebuttal round. So, Johnny, what is the chat saying?
Lots to talk about hats and still bleeding ears.
Am I loud?
Man, we got that on.
No, it was that little reel that you
It's
played.
from the
that was
original.
loud.
The sizzle was 10
Explosion
times
had a
louder.
very accurate volume level.
Perfect.
It was the little 20-second movie you played that was loud.
Oh, it was a little loud? Oh, good.
Yeah.
Well, it was. I mean, it was destruction and chaos, so I did my job. Zuby, let's get some fact checking going. We had a lot of drinking, and then it was kind of like the cool kids versus the straight edge kids. Not saying that the straight edge kids aren't cool too. Calm down.
You said it.
Yeah, you go ahead and say that.
So I
More and
do
more
have
like
some
real movie
facts
fights
I
every
gotta
second.
check here, though.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if Xenagos would actually live with his mom since he tried to murder her when he was 6 years old.
Ooh.
Tried.
That seems a little.
The power of forgiveness is a very
I'm not
big
sure
thing.
if he would actually live with her.
Loves him.
Well, I mean, they're technically both dead. They're both technically in the same place.
Oh, okay.
That's true. That's true.
So what
But,
about any facts on
like
Oko,
Mason
the
also
new
said,
planeswalker?
but like Mason also said, they didn't mention a magic card. The constructed criticism, though, mentions that Oko was the party king. I cannot find a mention of that anywhere, that he was any kind of king of parties.
Ooh.
Yikes.
So
That's what
Maybe
the
that's
stealing of the
behind the
crown is.
paywall.
He's stealing the title of Party King. That's
And what is the
it hasn't been released yet.
a bit of a
co-host. Hold on,
Bit of
former
a stretch.
co-host Michael Hinderocker
Retroactive.
works for WotC. This
Yeah,
is just
retroactive.
inside information that we're giving out.
Can we cut that part?
Oh,
I didn't know I was
whoops.
supposed to cut that.
Oh,
Oh my gosh. This is
Oh,
the line.
whoops.
It was obviously the best card in Ravnica Block.
So
I didn't
you know,
spoil the
this
lane
channel
from there,
can't get a
did I?
preview card, but we just got some insider information. So, woof.
Oh wow, is
Wrong
that salt
first round.
I'm noticing?
PK,
So,
how do you think the round's going so far? Do you have what does the
Wow.
bones say?
Well, the bones, the bones like to drink a lot of alcohol, so kind of go in that direction.
Okay.
But you never know. I mean, you never know. They're both really good arguments, honestly. You know, everyone loves the Untitled Goose Game, right, John? You know about that, right, John?
no, that game's terrible.
Oh, boy.
He doesn't know.
Right? I'm
To
like,
be fair, it's like a good 2-hour watch. If you just want to watch it for 2 hours, it's really funny.
all right, let's go to the last part of the round. So this is now the closing argument. So we're going to go back over to Team Ponder Blocks. 60 seconds on the clock. Let's just do 120 seconds on the clock. So 2 minutes on the clock. You guys could pair up. We'll
Back and
bring
forth,
down the
sure.
wall. Let's go complete collab here. So
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Go ahead.
You find yourself on Halloween morning with a choice, as we all do. And when you find this, one needs to have a memorable day, a memorable celebration, and a memorable life, among all things. And so you come to a crossroads. You can either, be boring, dress up like a goose, which is a budget costume, and it's last week's meme.
Oh.
You can go to Oko's house, where you might even see Four Loko, which, admittedly, is excellent. Or you can live. You can go out into the night, much like a fright, and you can go conquer all that lays before you. When you start at Xenagos' home, that is not where you will finish, because you will have haste, and you will have initiative, and you will have untold newfound strength. You will feel like you are twice as strong as you ever were before. And that is the kind of confidence that conquers days, conquers nights, and it is going to leave your morning a haze. But that is the future, and we don't worry about that tonight, because much like I've been taught by every pop song ever sung to me out of Miami, we only have tonight. It is here, it is you, and
that's time. Sorry.
Oh, Coleman didn't get it. Didn't
Also,
chime
to
in on that
add,
one.
we're
Wait,
going to be
hold on.
warriors. Cowards can't block warriors.
Yeah,
just to
there you
say.
go. We got to go to Zuby. He said that's how Miami goes. You're the resident Florida man. Is that true?
I don't know.
Perfect. Perfect.
know.
Who
like
goes to
Zuby's
Miami?
family
That
name.
place is shit.
Oh. All right.
It's your Miami. I mean,
Wow.
Mason, if I could take the lead on this one, I would
yeah,
appreciate
let's,
it.
120
I love it.
seconds
Give me
on the
the
clock,
closing
PK.
seconds, buddy. That's all I need.
Yep. Go ahead.
Tell me when.
When?
So here's the deal. They talked about making those memories, and excuse me while I hold back tears.
Uh-oh.
But watching your son explore Halloween and experience it, there's nothing like it. I'm turning 30 next year. I've done the binge drinking. I've thrown ragers, man. I get it. I understand that fun. But when you see your kid ask to pet a dog while he's trick or treating, it is the cutest thing. And at the next house, when he asks if they have a dog, it's the next cutest thing.
Wait, what?
Because he now thinks that Halloween is about petting dogs.
Oh.
And what more is cuter? What more could you want?
Wholesome.
And when we're at Oko's house, he's got all the dogs. And he's got all the dog food because he's making food. And that's all my son Maxwell wants. Mason, take it away.
That's beautiful, inspiring. I agree. We're talking about memories that last a lifetime, not something that we look back and we tell our kids, I've made mistakes like that. Don't worry, I'll pick you up from the party like TJ and Cole are doing. The Oko's house is going to have Four Loko. It's going to have the fun things too for the adults.
10 seconds.
You're also going to have those memories and you're going to be able to remember them. Also, the idea that the goose costume is budget and Warrior isn't is atrocious. Do you know how much work a goose goes in a Warrior?
Yeah,
Warrior
it's
takes your
literally
shirt
a
off.
sheet. You said you're wearing
Exactly.
a toga.
You can get like a
That's
little
time.
paper towel.
And that's time. Oh.
there's effort in the character.
Whew.
All right.
Heated debates. All right, let's go through. Let's go right back to the couch real quick. Get some more fact checks, Zuby, on those closing arguments for the first round.
The closing
The
argument.
magic of closing.
Well, they're not wearing much clothes. They're wearing a sheet.
Yeah.
They're in togas.
Have you seen Oko's art? I mean,
Yeah, he's
no
pretty
clothes.
neat.
Xanagos' art?
Also,
So
he's
the
the bad. Xenagos is a bad guy. Let's just be clear about what's happening here.
Bad guys are the fun guys.
Uh-oh.
In the sake of being fair, like Spencer said earlier, Oko is also the bad guy. # spoiler alert.
Oh,
Oh no.
I'm just to
Are you
be
supposed
fair.
to spoiler
full
that?
transparency.
Insider
Well-
info from Watsy. Uh-oh.
Also,
That's
the
gonna
book
be
that's out
bad.
at
So
Amazon.com
is-
I
right now.
really hope that your son doesn't get turned into an elk. That would be hugely unfortunate. And I think it's dangerous that you're putting him in that position.
Oko's a homie, not a threat. Do you know how many
boy.
goalless
All right.
Oh wow,
Let's-
man, the heat is on.
Yeah, some
So-
after bell hits below the belt, but yeah, Zuby, did they sneak in
Yeah,
any good facts in that last round? Or well,
You
So
can't stop me from
there weren't
swinging.
really much facts, but
trust me,
but
my
both of them.
son did ask to pet a dog. I promise.
Well, no, it's
we can't fact
it's
check
both
that.
of them were really appealing to the emotion of the Grand Arbiter. So I'm not sure how the Grand Arbiter is going to feel about that. And it wasn't very fact based on
Gonna
both
make our
sides.
spells cost more.
So it's
Or more pandering to the arbiter.
Anyone?
yeah, I feel that both closing arguments were kind of a little bit weak.
Okay. Anyone from the chat chime in? How's this round
Let's
looking,
see.
Johnny?
Xenagos is the M&M of Magic the Gathering.
Nice.
By the way, we did touch on one of the horror themes of Halloween. The morning after is horrific.
Perfect. All right, so let's run through and let's get this verdict here. So, in the opening arguments, TJ came out with adulting and drunk Xenagos, 80s movies, and togas. I mean, that's all kind of playing to one side of myself. And then Coleman. Devotion, Primetime, Emrakul, really hitting those magic card notes, and that's your party. I mean, I don't know what kind of maybe an Innistrad
Who
moon.
wants Emrakul at their party? Come on.
Maybe we're going to
Cool
Innistrad
guys.
for this one. And then over the other side,
We're going to the moon.
Mason,
Don't invite
Mason
Emrakul.
went,
Emrakul just shows up.
Mason went totally
what party doesn't have
PC,
the
no
moon in the sky?
alcohol, honk honk, goose, safe for the kids. But then we had people dying and were hiding bodies, so that one was a little bit of a
At the
mixed
Xenagos
bag.
party, because people are drinking too much. That's what I was saying.
I don't know what you do when you drink. But
We do
I've
now.
watched. I don't drink alcohol. I
That's
don't
true.
know.
He doesn't.
Then Spencer said, Spencer's really playing it up on the candy, the Halloween aspect. Eating geese? We went from eating candy to eating geese, and then always...
Hey, have you had a goose? It's delicious.
I mean, you're not wrong. Coleman
So you're
was
gonna
just,
eat yourselves?
He was just indignant that there were murders at this party. TJ said, alcohol is essential, and then he resorted to puns. Then Mason, we had no need for liquor to be social, and then he started started talking about pumpkin spice, and then I could just see the real Mason coming out with the iced coffee, really playing up the wholesome vibe. Spencer said hot goose, straight edge, and then he's the Oko's the crown king. Also, choice memories, really playing on that nostalgia. Spencer started crying a little bit with the heartstrings. Father feels wholesome. So you really played into both the duality of my soul. I am a father, but I also am a drunken mess half the time. So it was a real tough pick on this one. I have to just say the strength of argument, I would rather probably go to the Halloween party for team constructed criticism. So they take round 1.
Woo!
All right. So,
All right.
round 1 in the book. Real
quick.
It's because you can bring your kids.
Not gonna
So
lie,
real quick, I'm actually going to defend pumpkin spice here.
Okay.
I actually like pumpkin spice stuff. So
it's delicious.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Can we have a real moment? We
Legitimately
like to have fun on
good.
this show. We like to have
I
a
had
good time. I knew Cole was a good
salted
person.
caramel
Now I
bourbon
know.
latte.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah. No.
You know what?
Anyone
And to be
does
fair,
Yeah.
Coleman and TJ, you guys are invited to our party too.
Aw. Nice.
We won't go.
Oh! Shut shit
dang.
down.
The salt is real.
Oh.
And I will say, pumpkin spice nitro, woof, it is quite nice. All right, let's go to round 2 because that already took way too long. So, do we have PK? Do you have another question cooking up in that cauldron?
I've got another question. Yeah, here we go.
All right.
Question number. Oh, well, do we know who's going first?
Yeah. So, team constructed criticism, you are the round winner. So, are you guys going first? Or are you kicking it over to Ponder Blocks?
I think we let TJ and then go first.
Yeah,
right?
we have to punt because my computer's about to die, so
Oh,
I got to
okay,
go under my table.
Might not just be punting the round, but the match. But before this happens, let's go. So Ponder Blocks are on the clock. Let's hear the question.
Ayo.
Okay, question number 2. In the horror film genre, there is a plethora of boogeymen, monsters, and super scary villains driving the plot of their movie only to meet their demise at the hands of some plucky protagonist. Today, you are rooting for the bad guy. Using an iconic antagonist from the world of horror films, build us a planeswalker answering the following. Which horror villain's spark are you igniting? What are their 3 abilities? What is the near-death experience igniting their spark? That's the last one.
Perfect.
Yep.
All right. 60 seconds.
Okay, so I'm just going to recap really quick.
Okay.
Which horror villain spark are you igniting? What are their 3 abilities? And what is the near-death experience igniting their spark? So it's a planeswalker that is a typical antagonist from the world of horror films.
So we're picking an actual established horror movie character.
Like Freddy Krueger.
Don't give them any help.
Oh, sorry. Don't use
I
Freddy
was not
Krueger.
gonna
You're not allowed to use
Or
Freddy
like a
Krueger.
spooky witch. All right, let's go. Who's going first, TJ or Coleman?
Sorry, we're just figuring some stuff out.
I mean,
You have 2 seconds to decide. 1, 2, and you're on the clock. Go.
I'll go first. So our option is going to be Ghostface from Scream.
ooh.
So the 3, it's obviously, I think in my head, going to be a black-white planeswalker, right?
Naturally.
It's the duality between life and death. That's what Ghostface and Scream is all about.
You like Orzhov?
The what? I'm sorry?
I said I do like the Orzhov.
He's taking our time.
Oh. Well, you get me when you get me. The -2 is definitely going to be a flicker effect since Ghostface tends to disappear and then come back randomly. The +1 or the plus ability, I'm not sure if it's like a +2 or a +1 sort of deal.
Doesn't matter.
That's going to be target creature. I don't know. Doesn't suffer
10 seconds.
It suffers a debilitating effect, but it doesn't die. And then the ultimate is destroy each creature your opponent controls and exile Ghostface.
Okay,
Time.
perfect. 60 seconds on the clock for TJ for the opening argument.
Well,
Go ahead.
Ghostface is going to be the character igniting, but how does one ignite their spark? Well, Ghostface is no stranger. In fact, having been portrayed by a variety of actors over the years, you might say that death is all too familiar to Ghostface. But, of course, it's going to be when Ghostface comes across their most notorious enemy yet. From none other than the Wu-Tang Clan, it is going to be Ghostface Killer that finally confronts this villain. And of course, any sort of situation like that is going to cause you to ignite, because if you cannot keep up with that beat, you've got to get out of the street. So, Ghostface will be igniting, and he will be ravaging the plains on a quest for vengeance, and that is why he always is slitting people's throats, to disable their ability to wrap him into oblivion. He is prepared, and he's going for vengeance.
Wow. That was strong. I wrote down rapper like it was a candy wrapper.
I'm scared.
That's because this round's a rap.
Oh.
Man, that was good. I like that.
Pass on the puns. So clean. All right. Can we fact check? Can we go to the couch real quick and fact check on the pun?
Wait, what was the pun? I was having to write something else down. I didn't hear the pun.
The pun resolves.
The pun resolves?
The pun resolves.
Want to make sure. Okay. All right, let's go back to constructive criticism for opening arguments. Let's get 60 seconds on the...
Well, I just want to say, I don't watch horror films, so this one was hard for me.
Okay.
I was going to do the boogeyman from Sinister, but I think we have a...
Scream.
I think we have... I think we have a better one, and we're ready to go.
All right.
Okay. And go ahead.
Jigsaw.
Okay.
What is the more iconic horror villain? And when you think about it, how would Jigsaw spark ignite? I've never seen the movie. I don't know. But if you have, you know that the way that it would ignite is someone solves his puzzle. And they prove that he is a hypocrite. Everything that he does is evil and wrong, and he is wrong for why he's doing it. Mason, what would his abilities be?
Oh, he's sacrificing time to go over to Mason
I'm going to pick up Spencer's 30 seconds. Here we go.
Well, the abilities are going to take a lot longer.
Yeah, so Jigsaw is going to be an unset planeswalker. So his +1 is going to assemble a contraption, just like in the movies with Jigsaw. Ooh. You're going to flip over your top one, put it on the cog, and let it play out from there. Its minus is pretty basic. You're going to have them sacrifice a permanent of their choice. Just like in the Jigsaw movies, you're going to see that you're going to have to make a sacrifice in order to move through to the next challenge. We're going to replicate that in our unset card here. And then our minus is truly an unset, where you can chop off any part of your body to counteract the ultimate. Or you can have them assemble all their contraptions. So
10 seconds.
You'll assemble all the contraptions to your deck. And our Jigsaw is 5 white, blue. For it, just like the 5 Jigsaw movies.
Oh
Time.
God, so we went from complete wholesome partying to now chopping off pieces of our own body.
I really feel like we should retroactively re-examine their first answer.
Hey, take your L, bro. Take your L.
We're really finding out some stuff about Mason Clark here.
I'm just saying, I didn't get the design job, but I tried.
My pumpkin spice latte is delicious. Thank you.
All right, let's go. Go back to PK. Let's put 60 seconds on the clock. Let's go straight on over to the rebuttals, going right to ponder blocks.
Yeah, go ahead.
Boom.
All right, so first of all, when you talk about Jigsaw's spark igniting by solving games, there are literally characters in the movies who solve the games. Like, that is a thing that happens on, like, Saw 7 or Saw 8. And you want to talk about iconic?
There's so many movies, man. There's so many movies.
God.
I have seen them, and, well, you've mentioned that you haven't. So, you want to talk about iconic. How many times have you walked down Halloween and you've seen the Ghostface mask? Just walking down the street. They don't know where it's from, but they know the mask. And that's what matters here. All right.
No one cared until I put on this mask for my costume.
60 seconds.
Here's the thing. The mechanics on your card were straight fire. But the problem is that mechanics just won't actually evoke any sort of strong feeling. Horror doesn't come from mechanics. It comes from emotional response. And emotionally, I found you devoid and deader than the results of
that's time.
characters.
Did TJ get a full 60? That felt real short.
Well, you combined this. You combined the 60 and the 1.
Oh, okay.
That it would be combined.
Just making sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought we only got 60 seconds total. You said we were taking too long.
Yeah, you said that we were combining everything now.
Oh, did I really? See,
Yeah, you did.
This is what happens when I don't drink.
And
Let's
you're
go to the couch real quick. Let's get some facts. Zuby, we are talking horror theory,
Should have come to our party.
Ghostface killers,
know, right?
Wu-Tang clans. I mean, there's a lot to look up here, man.
So that's what I've been looking up. So as far as I've looked at who's portrayed Ghostface, Ghostface Killer is not one of them. So
Well, I
am
never
not-
said that. I said Ghostface Killer is the final nemesis.
They're gonna fight each other. Yeah.
is the final.
Tell me you wouldn't be interested in a version of Scream where Ghostface just starts rapping.
That would be amazing.
It's called. Scary
Okay,
Movie
that
with
makes
the
a little bit
Wayans.
more sense.
Yeah.
Actually, I do want a spin-off in which it's like Ghostface hunting down the Wu-Tang Clan. And they just devastate.
And then ODB is over his dead body. Like, yeah,
Oh.
Oh,
So
it's got to be produced by RZA.
So just so I understand here, Ghostface Killer is the one who ignites Ghostface's spark.
Correct.
yeah.
Okay.
This is so convoluted.
All right. Yeah, because that wasn't being made clear to me here.
Are
And
you
then
a-
as far as
Yeah.
Jigsaw goes,
Yeah.
ignites by having his puzzle solved. Ponderblocks does make a really good point that puzzles have been solved in the movie.
That
So
doesn't mean that somebody couldn't solve it in a way that would ignite his spark, though.
Exactly. To clarify,
but most of
Spencer
the
time
Johnson
they
exposes his hypocrisy.
but sparks are usually ignited by near death. So Ponderblocks actually has a good point there.
Okay.
Usually.
Is it time for our rebuttal? Because I think this is all very.
It's more for closing arguments
Yeah.
now.
Slivers.
We haven't rebutted.
We didn't get a rebuttal.
Oh, we didn't rebuttal.
I
No,
thought
you guys didn't let us rebuttal.
All right,
Yeah,
let's
you know,
rebuttal.
like we said,
Oh.
it was all combined.
All right.
We were using your time too.
Oh no, you guys are so good. Oh dang it!
This show is.
60
Just
seconds
like-
on the clock.
All right.
Tell me when. I'd like to start.
Go.
Well, Roger L. Jackson is rolling in his grave. The fact that he would never be able to rap, let alone another Ghostface being able to rap. Here's the thing. You talk about Ghostface, and I know who Ghostface is because I went to elementary school. But you know who doesn't? Kids in elementary school today. Do you know why? Because masks like that are banned in elementary schools. You're not allowed to wear them in elementary school at Halloween anymore. So you sit there and say everyone knows who's Ghostface is. I guarantee you, if you pulled 10 kids under 10, almost zero of them would know at this point, unless their parents
You know who
specifically showed
Jigsaw
them.
is?
Exactly. And
Hey, you're the one that made the point that they would know, not me. I'm just
Well, now,
rebuttaling
TJ
your argument.
even admitted that people don't know what movie it's from. At least with the Jigsaw mask, people are going to identify and resonate with that and understand. By the way, the idea that card mechanics don't resonate with things. Have you looked at Innistrad? It's like the whole reason people resonate with it is all the card mechanics. Your
What's
card doesn't
Innistrad?
even make sense.
All right.
Mike, drop.
Innistrad's the broken set, right?
What's in the start?
No, what?
No, it's not. No. Nope. You could listen to constructive criticism to know that's not.
Oh, self-plugging. I don't know if that's gonna
Ooh.
I
hurt
like
you or hinder
you
you, but it
assume
is
I
a good
don't.
podcast, so we will say it will help.
This is.
I will say both teams sort of need to let the other team speak and not overtalk the
Oh,
other
yeah.
team.
My apologies. My
I'm
apologies.
just mad Dalton's
Hey,
not here.
you're still invited to our party. We
This
love you.
is-
Couch, Johnny Slivers, is there any
This
Saw
is,
or Scream fans in the chat?
We got a Scream fan from Pat Crack Fever is explaining Ghostface should be able to damage those who don't have cards in their hands since he goes after people that don't know the rules of horror
But-
movies.
But the problem is they didn't know the
Ooh.
mechanics.
They didn't know the mechanics. It's just this show is insane. You guys are a bunch of
So
lunatics.
good.
This is fantastic.
Perfect. All right, let's go to the closing arguments real quick on the sake of time. 60 seconds on the clock, going over to Ponderblocks.
Go now.
I mean, saying that masks are banned while arguing in favor of someone who wears a mask, and saying that 10-year-olds aren't going to be familiar with a horror movie while arguing in favor of Jigsaw is a really bold strategy. And I will say, you clearly are showing an absolute expertise for horror because I am terrified to see you argue further. So, this is going to be a whole
Puns, 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 puns.
Really, just the truth is that Ghostface is not only iconic, but also there is just a certain resonance to the true, pure gore that is not only psychological terror of choice, but just the truest incarnation of our fears of not only, the night but also disembowelment, which is a big deal for a lot of people.
So also, since you attacked our card, I feel like I want to attack yours. Blue-white doesn't seem like the right fit for Jigsaw of all people. I feel like that card needs to be like black-red or something. It's controlled, but it's also chaotic.
Yeah. I to be fair, I think that's a good point. I think that something along the lines of black-white might have been better for Jigsaw.
That shows a fundamental lack of understanding for the color pie, understanding that white can be a villainous color, especially when you think about the Saw movies.
Mason turning on his own teammate here.
Ooh, no, I like Mason's point. I will retract my statement.
Yeah,
so it's Norn. Just saying.
A 4/4 flying vigilance green creature. That's
and of course
I got that question right. That's all I'm saying.
If I could take the first 15 seconds, Mason, I would appreciate that.
Take 15 seconds, Spencer, and I'll cover for you the rest.
Go ahead.
Go.
So, I don't watch horror films. I just don't enjoy them. And our opponents have correctly identified that. However, I have done some research, and let me tell you something about Jigsaw.
We're allowed to do research?
is that Jigsaw it really identifies with something that I think is true of humans, which is that they are flawed. And we need to appreciate that in Jigsaw, but also exploit his flaws, and that's how his spark would ignite.
Exactly. Thank you for taking that, Spencer. I'm going to take up the last 30 seconds here. Jigsaw is first off, video Jigsaw mask. Jigsaw's a doll. My teammate doesn't know that because he doesn't watch the movies and he's seen the mask, but it's a doll. Second off, I like to point out that they talk about the iconic horror nation, like of the mask or whatever, for their card, which, by the way, they keep not talking about their card for some weird reason, almost like they admitted our card was better and fits the question more. Either way, they admitted that people don't know what that mask is all the time. At least with this thing, people understand. And I get that maybe if you're really old, it fits with that thing and you understand that, but if you're kind of younger and hipper,
we never admitted
like the target demographic for Magic, you would know what Jigsaw is, and it would resonate much more with you. Also, Blues contraptions.
All right.
We never admitted that. We
For the
never
record,
said that.
I said that blue-white is not the correct color combination for Jigsaw.
I think that when it comes to like contraptions and blue and white, when it comes to like the group and everything,
is a red mechanic.
All right.
No, there's blue contraptions.
All right, rounds over.
Let's go to the couch.
Unstable doesn't count.
Woo.
Oh, look at that $2 donation!
Oh, we have a super chat from
Cranky DH.
See, look at that. Someone else calling
but the $2 donation says that Jigsaw is Rakdos. I disagree. I think that Jigsaw would be Orzhov. I think he thinks he's doing the right thing. And I think that that's important here. And I will admit that our team got this wrong. And I think that Orzhov... Hold on. No, we are about #, always improving on constructive criticism.
Self-arbiting here.
No, hold on. And I would like to change our cost on Jigsaw to black, white, whatever the number.
I don't think you can. The round's
Mason,
over.
bring in your team.
I just want to say that red is too much of an impulse color for Jigsaw.
All right.
I agree. Red is wrong.
I feel like they need to clarify something. You two are great, and I'm going to keep smack talking you, but you two are great.
I love you guys too. I'm having a lot of fun. I appreciate you guys.
I was a big fan. I felt kind of bad because I was going so aggro, but I'm having a lot of fun.
That's fine. I'm used to playing
Slivers.
Since we're having a heart-to-heart moment.
So again, our chat just produced an awesome super chat. Thank you again, according to EDH, for that. But what does the chat say about the overall round 2?
It's fine.
It's totally fine.
He'll agree. What is this? Crank says he'll agree. He does think he's doing the correct thing, but all order leads to chaos. Hence Rakdos.
All right. Zuby, you got a lot of facts to sift through on this one. Help me out, bud.
Like the fact that we never admitted that people don't know what.
We gotta keep it civil here. We gotta, this has been a problem here. Both of you just keep over talking each other.
Daddy Zuby is gonna turn this goddamn car around.
Oh, dang.
I'm sorry, John's over talking to you, so I'm just leading by example. My bad.
So
I'm an impressionable young person.
So Ghostface is considered Orzhov. The mechanics were a little bit interesting. The flicker effect which is true of Ghostface, can appear and disappear. Then the plus effect is target creature gets an effect. They never really elaborated on that, which I was a little disappointed on. And then the ultimate was destroy each creature and then exile Ghostface, from what I understood. And that Ghostface Killa, the Wu-Tang guy, is the one who ignites Ghostface's spark, which does make sense because sparks most of the time are ignited by near-death experiences. So let's go over to constructive criticism here over Jigsaw. He gets his spark ignited by having his puzzle solved. And then they sort of changed it a little bit later. His spark is ignited because he's flawed?
No. That was in the original thing. It's that they point out his hypocrisy.
Exactly.
Is the reason the spark is ignited.
And then tell him.
And then tell him his hypocrisy.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I said at the beginning.
Okay.
All right.
It's a little weird, but I'm gonna stick with my original.
For him, that's a near-death experience, man. I don't know what to tell you.
So
are you a narcissist?
Stick with that.
Just imagine Trump being proven he was wrong to himself. That's all you got to think about.
So I'm still gonna stick by that Jigsaw is a Azorius Planeswalker. That his plus was a contraption, which I like that. It's an unset Planeswalker. Sure. One negative was sack a permanent of choice that they didn't really elaborate. Then another neg was chop off body part to counter a Planeswalker ultimate.
Yeah. So it was target opponent sacrifices something like Jigsaw, and then the ultimate was it has a clause where you can cut off a body part in order to counter the ultimate. But if you don't, it assembles all the contraptions in your deck.
Look at PK's face right now.
The problem is a lot of this wasn't elaborated further on. So,
although I gotta say, because that's a dexterity move, it does have to be in an unset.
Exactly.
That is true.
I really did fail the play design test. I'm not.
I will say.
Yeah, he's taken the play design test. Fun fact.
Yeah, I will say.
Am I allowed to say that?
I know that. I'm allowed to say. I also didn't pass, so I'm here. So maybe
I will say, John, to help you out, make your decision. Yeah. I think the Ghostface mechanics were playing it a little bit safe, but I think the Jigsaw mechanics for the Planeswalker were definitely more, as the little kids would say, on fleek.
Ooh.
I don't know if they say that.
So
I don't know. It's 2019. Nobody knows what kids say anymore.
But that's it. Those are my facts.
Johnny Slivers, what does the Drunken Hobbit say?
Drunken Hobbit said something involving there's. I don't know. I don't read emoji. Sorry.
Oh, he's just so happy. All right.
How much scotch have you had, Johnny? So pour another drink. Go ahead.
PK, what do the bones tell you on this round?
The bones are shook. The bones don't know what to think.
I think there's a name for that.
This is an unruly motley crew. Let's say that. All right.
All over the place.
So Zuby already kind of explained. You kind of ran down the arguments, but in my brain, it's like, so Ghostface had some real great mechanics going on, and Ghostface, I do agree with. Ponder Blocks is a more iconic. You think movie. What's a more iconic movie monster, I guess, or movie killer? I would definitely pick Ghostface over Jigsaw, but constructive criticism had some great points as well. I do agree that I like the unset style mechanics going for Ghostface. But I mean, how could I argue against the Wu-Tang Clan? Ponder Blocks takes the match, or takes the round rather. We don't know about the match. Definitely round 2. Pour one out really to ODB for Ponder Blocks.
I know that it's scripted, but come on, man, you can't go off script.
By the way, I just rewrote the first abilities of lose all activated abilities -2, -0.
Okay.
That might be a little bit better. That's just something I spitballed.
Coleman Falk trying to win more. Oh,
yeah, I think we would change ours to Orzhov too. I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it was just a little shaky with the dissension within the ranks, because teamwork is part of the judging system. So Spencer was starting to argue more against his own pick than for it.
Hey, that hurts.
That makes sense.
For the record, though, I do love your design of Jigsaw. That is a fantastic design.
Yeah.
When you're wrong, you're learning. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
I learned so much.
Mason, do you wish you had a less dishonest or a more dishonest person on your team?
I wish that Spencer just had faith in me, that I knew where to come from in the card design. I got the 4/4 flyer question right. I got my color pie down.
All right, let's go to round 3. Round 3 is huge because round 3 is judged by you, the chat. Everyone in the chat, get ready because you are picking this round. I'm going to go take a nap because this has been an absolute fucking marathon. I'll tell you what. Keeping everyone.
Enjoy your nap.
All right, I'm going to sleep. So let's see. Ponder blocks. Are you guys keeping the ball, or are you going to punt it over to Team Constructive Criticism?
We don't get to. We're going to go first again. We're going to continue this theme of cowards can't block warriors and really just trying to lead the game.
I've never won a dice roll in my life. Might as well not start now.
All right, PK.
Do what you feel comfortable with.
Yeah, so here we go, chat. Listen up. Question 3. Time to reimagine expansion set trailers from Magic the Gathering with a twist. You can repitch the announcement trailer for any set in Magic the Gathering's history, but every facet of the trailer, the expansion's world, and its already existing Magic cards need to be reimagined to exist in pumpkin spice flavor. Which expansion or world do you pumpkin spicify? Which 3 Magic cards from your chosen do you showcase in pumpkin spice form? And describe your pumpkin spice reimagined set release trailer. So, you need to pick an expansion that you would pumpkin spicify. Pick 3 cards from that expansion to showcase in pumpkin spice form. And describe the pumpkin spice reimagined set release trailer. Okay, and you're on the clock. 60 seconds. Who's going first?
Darkness, and then light emerges. Suddenly you see a timeless classic, much like pumpkin spice, that will live throughout the ages. But hold on to your hats, because a new classic is rolling into town. Introducing the new alpha set of the soon-to-be classic Magic the Gathering card game, part of the Deck Master series. That's right, we have got spice for you, because you are gonna be building decks, brewing decks, and trying to topple your foes. Show them your lore knowledge, your deck building knowledge, and take them to the cleaners. Then you see these flashing bright cards. Sarah Angel comes swooping in with wings, and then you've got a lightning bolt crackling down, but Sarah Angel is still up. Another lightning bolt cracks it down. Whoa, you don't know what's happening, and it's gonna be absolutely wild. Pumpkin spice flying all over the screen. That's right, we're building 2 classics here in one magnificent card game. Take it away.
That's time.
Oh wait, don't set 2 times.
Yeah.
You check the time.
Oh.
Yeah, okay, go ahead. Yep.
Okay. So to add on, she mentioned 3 cards, right?
That's right.
The last card that we name is Llanowar Elf. There is no other mana dork that is as iconic as Llanowar Elf. It's 1 green that adds a green. What else could you want from a mana dork? And besides, what's more basic than Alpha? It is literally the first set of all time. Sarah Angel was the default finisher, even though it's a 4/4 flying vigilance for 5. It's not good by current.
But it's a timeless classic.
Yeah, it's a timeless classic. The originator of the deck was J.M. Daytone and Sarah Angel. So I don't know
jam
what
that copperhead.
Basic part of Magic history, aka pumpkin spice.
10 seconds.
Need 10 seconds. Let them take the 10 seconds. Who cares?
Oh, mic dropping. Don't drop the mic. Those are expensive.
Basic. I don't know about that, but okay.
All right.
We'll take those 10 seconds, by the way. For what's
I'm not above it, Spencer says. All right, 60 seconds.
So can we actually have the full 120? Because I don't know that I'll use the whole.
Yeah, can we just have our clock go for 120?
Sure.
Is that okay? Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Go ahead. Go now.
Yeah, so I'd like to start by saying that pumpkin spice, which originated, like, if you look at the meme and the beauty of what pumpkin spice is, it was started by Starbucks. And what does Starbucks provide you? But it provides you with energy. So we're going to Kaladesh, because what more would you want than energy provided by coffee? We're going to pumpkin spice this shit up.
Oh!
And we're going to start with the card that won me the state championship when Kaladesh was out in Standard with Aetherworks Marvel. That's a coffee maker at this point. This shit's pumping out energy, and we're going ham on that. This is the way to go. We're going hard on the pumpkin spice. Aetherworks Pumpkin Spice Marvel. Tap in to put that energy into play. Mason, take it away.
You have this set up now with the Marvels. You have an idea with the world. You see the trailer. You see us coming down with the Thops, and we see all the Starbucks, the Dunkin' Donuts, all the pumpkin spice going on in the city. Everything's happening. We also have 2 more cards. We have a tune with pumpkin spice, which is a tune with Aether. So basic, just get a land. So easy, give it a little energy. It just makes sense when you think about it. And then we have Long Tusk Pub. Long Tusk Pub. When you attack, you get some energy. Just like if you go to the Long Tusk Pub, get a little pumpkin spice.
10 seconds.
That's where it's at. Kaladesh. Energy world, just like Spencer said, steampunk, because steampunk people love coffee. It's the perfect mix, and honestly, that's pretty basic.
That's time.
All right, let's go to rebuttal. 60 seconds on the clock.
Go ahead.
Go. Ponder blocks.
Here's the thing. You got all the kinds of coffee, but you just can't Kaladesh out anything that's going to be delicious, because you're so based around all of this steam and all of this beverage that you can't provide anything of substance. So we're going to be trying to bring just everything all around in our once-in-a-lifetime alpha set. You know, sometimes it's going to have a couple of flaws, maybe some misprints in the foam, but that's part of the character that is going to build a community, and coffee shops are built on communities. Kaladesh, on the other hand, is banned trash. The FDA slapped you down harder than a pixie stick up a kid's nose.
Pixie.
So, we're talking about pumpkin spice, right? And pumpkin spice has this reputation for being basic. I don't know if that's accurate, but it is what it is. What other thing is basic than basic lands?
That's time.
That was alpha.
All right.
That was our point.
Here we go. 60 seconds on the clock for constructive criticism.
I love pumpkin spice. Go.
Pumpkin spice is great. Don't feel bad about that, PK. Let me just tell you one thing real quick here. At WotC, they have a complete set of alpha up on the wall. Do you know why? Because alpha is one of the most complex sets in the history of Magic. And in fact, it inspires all of these sets, all of these cards, a lot of them are inspired by alpha. Alpha is not a simple set. It is a very complex, it is a deep set with a lot of hard mechanics to master, and that honestly have spurred a lot of other mechanics. Have you read cards from alpha? It's literally a segment on LR. It's crazy how crazy those cards are. Do yourself a favor, go and read those cards. It's not basic. The idea is it's ludicrous. Kaladesh is the perfect basic world. It's just steampunk. It was the easiest cash grab in the world for WotC. We have all these cards that make sense when it comes to being pumpkin spice. And honestly, that world just makes sense being it. Dominaria doesn't make sense. It's a night world. What's pumpkin? I don't
I'll take the 5 seconds. Steampunk, steam milk. Let's put some pumpkin spice in it. Let's go.
Espresso machine.
My wife would be so happy. She works at Starbucks. She would love this round.
My wife worked at Starbucks too. Fist bump.
I hope my wife is coming from Starbucks.
I'm not judging this round, so I can be as biased as I want in this
Also, this has, I mean, since chat's judging, this doesn't matter. But I'm going to give a $100 store credit to Oasis Games, picked out by Jon, to anyone who subscribes in the next week after watching this video.
Wow.
Jon gets to pick them out at random. And we just want to say that over at Constructor Criticism, we have some awesome sponsors at Oasis Games. We're going to hook that up for Jon, because Jon is one of my guys, and we love you. So thanks for inviting us on. We really appreciate it.
Of course,
by the way, teammate, in the future, if you're going to bribe, let's wait till the round where he's in charge.
That was the first round, and we won that. So
by all means, do it now.
My teammates take a little lack of when to bribe each other. But
hey, you know what?
I
could have done that better, but
all right, let's go. Well, thank you, Spencer. That's very generous. Thank you to the Constructive Criticism team. But again, this is not I cannot be bought, unlike some politicians. But we will go to the couch real quick. Man, let's Zuby, are you just like sweating through that TB hat? Because this is a razor thin match we got going on.
No, the Razor's still up 4-0, so I'm not really. No, but
Didn't see that coming, honestly.
I mean, I'm really curious as what the chat is going to say, because as far as I'm concerned, constructive criticism are the only one who really answered the question.
Oh,
Yikes! Oh.
Okay, so you said
that
that's
so much shade. I'm not even sure if it should be blocked.
All right. So
we still have closing arguments.
We still got closing arguments. It's still anyone's round, and it's not up to us. It's up to the chat. Speaking of the chat, how we doing, Johnny?
The chat is
not voting.
Where are they?
Oh no!
It correct is talking about unsubbing and resubbing, so we can get in on that.
Matt Crack Fever says Alpha was a mistake, so I don't know what that's
They only missed like 3 cards.
What was the little drunken hobbit?
It's called the Power 9.
The Power 9. I don't know. I'm appreciating what Ponder Blocks is doing with that kind of like that underlying kind of sub theme, like here's the basic set and then pumpkin spice is basic. Like I appreciate that, and just Pixie's all in on the pumpkin spice. Me personally, they lost me at pumpkin spice flavored deodorant, so I'm kind of over it.
That's not a
Why would you eat your deodorant?
I don't know. But somebody made that
not
mistake somewhere.
real.
They eat Tide Pods.
No.
Jesus.
Yeah.
You've made that up. That isn't real, Johnny.
PK,
Prove it.
So the bones are now securely saturated in pumpkin spice.
Yeah. The bones are really honestly pissed because pumpkin spice is not basic. Pumpkin spice is legitimately delicious, and anything pumpkin flavored tastes really good.
All right.
So
agreed.
Michelin's getting in on the pumpkin spice action.
So yeah.
Hey,
the orange Michelin tire. I like it.
There you go. The chat is, according to our fact checker, it sounds like constructive criticisms pulling ahead this round, but according to our chat liaison, Team Ponder Blocks is pulling ahead, so it's still anyone's game. Again, chat, go all 12 of you right now. Go ahead and get your voting clicky fingers ready. Let's hear the closing arguments for round number 3. And let's put some time on the clock, PK.
Yep, go ahead now.
So you're telling me that energy is a more basic mechanic than flying? I just want to get that out there right now.
Ooh.
The mechanics in Alpha are way more intuitive than they are in Paladin. That can't be blocked except by black creatures? You want to tell me that right now? I just want to answer that right now.
Have you read Banding? Tell me what Banding does right now and we'll scoop.
Here's the thing.
Right now, we'll scoop.
This is about making a trailer, right? Alpha didn't have a trailer, which means that we are reconstructing Scratch, we are reconstructing Hope, and we are reconstructing the beginning. Did we have some flaws in our trailer? Sure, but so did Alpha. It didn't have one. A real miss.
10 seconds.
On the other hand, was trash. Who's the main character? Ours was Sarah Angel. Yours is a latte, and it's dull.
Ooh, all right.
Time.
Getting a little salted caramel over there on the Ponder Blocks.
Salted caramel.
Salted caramel pumpkin spice? Come on. That's something usually you get at Crumble. That sounds good.
Listen, when you live this close, just in sheer proximity to TJ Rogers, the puns just start seeping in, and you just close your eyes and just permeate from your pores. Let's go back to the closing argument for constructive criticism.
Yeah, I'd like to start as soon as the clock is ready.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't think that we made the argument that Kaladesh was basic. In fact, I think that there's a lot of complicated mechanics in it because you need energy to solve complicated problems, and pumpkin spice lattes will do that for you. And I think that that's the argument that we were really wanting to make. Mason, what do you think?
I agree with that a lot there. It makes a lot of sense. Also, the idea that Alpha is a basic set like that is the biggest lie to the people I've heard since the 2016 elections. Holy cow. What was going on there? Tell me about banding, TJ. Explain banding to me. Cole, tell me about banding. It doesn't make sense. The set has some basic mechanics, yes, but those mechanics are refined over time and then put into sets like Kaladesh, which also, by the way, you mentioned basic lands. We have basic lands too.
In fact, our pumpkin spice grabs that shit. Attune with pumpkin spice.
Also, our trailers are reimagining and making it fit the question. It is Starbucks world. It's Dunkin' Donuts world. It makes it happen. It's magical.
It's full of energy, baby.
Time.
And that is time. Let's head on over to the couch while you're tallying those votes. All one of them. Zuby, pumpkin spice or salted caramel. Which one gets your vote?
I don't like either of them.
Oh.
Perfect. Any facts to check on that, really?
I don't know.
Wow.
Zuby,
okay.
super good at his job. Johnny.
I told you I'm a little tipsy right now.
I'm conflicted because I have a feeling most of the people in chat are us. So we've got, I think, at least Jankbank's voting in for constructive criticism. Pat Crack Fever says he's wearing pumpkin spice speed stick right now.
Okay.
I don't know who that goes to. And
I'm just impressed by that. That's all I'm saying.
And Crank EDH is voting for Undying. It's like
We just got another vote for CC, baby.
Undying is a really cool mechanic, though. Like, let's be honest here.
Yeah, that mechanic rocks.
That's legit.
Yeah.
Most of the calendar looks like a coffee maker.
All right. Oh, another one.
Exactly.
Another one for
Oh,
Jack.
The Jank Bank
I
gets
think
it.
so. Yep.
Yeah, it's just everyone's voting for pumpkin spice, but I'm like, that's all pumpkin spice.
The chat
I would
might
say-
be as drunk as our fact checker tonight.
Maybe they're like,
guys.
pumpkin spice is a vote for like not basic.
Oh, maybe.
I know that our cards all got reimagined with pumpkin spice. I know their cards were related to it, so I don't want to be like, I'm a little biased here, but it sounds like they're voting for us. I'm gonna leave that to
That
y'all.
sounds incredibly biased.
Terrifying. Please.
Well, for the
Oh,
sake
God.
of time and to get to round 4, it looks like that constructive criticism gets the vote for round 3. So that's 2 rounds to 1. So if Ponder Blocks gets the next round, then we go to that 5th round sudden death. But if not, if they sweep this one, then they are the winners of the first league match. So let's jump right into it. Let's get round 4's question. I'm going back into the Grand Arbiter seat to judge round 4. PK. Team constructive criticism. Who's going to be going first?
I think it's been going. It just makes sense. TJ and them can go first.
Okay.
Absolutely. We're gentlemen here.
All right.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I spend a card to draw a card, so I'll gladly go second.
Time on the
Just
clock.
give it to me. What's the question?
Wait, yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
read the question first.
No question. There's
John,
no
you're not
question.
even
There's
drunk.
Time on the clock.
Okay.
Yeah.
Question number 4. Here we go. Last week, Wizards of the Coast announced the My Little Pony. Sorry, hold on. The My Little Pony crossover set as a fundraising collaboration for the Extra Life charity organization to benefit the Seattle Children's Hospital. This is yet another installment of specialty collectible crossover cards produced by Wizards of the Coast. With that said, tell us your predictions for what the next brand Magic the Gathering will cross paths with, and why your crossover prediction will be the coolest, zaniest, and most surprising Magic the Gathering crossover to see the light of day. And
Y'all let
ready,
us go first.
set, go. Your time is on.
I'll tell you what, Hasbro has now got a monopoly over Magic, one might say. And there's only going to be one eventual crossover, and that will be Monopoly. It's going to be an entire board in which cards are each of the spaces along it. You buy the board, you open it up, you slap it down, and you are drafting a deck based on where you land in these spaces. You got to pay rent. Ooh, looks like you're going to be starting with a smaller opening hand. You going to go ahead and land up on that hotel? My goodness, that is life loss for you. You're going to go straight to jail. Looks like you just missed your untapped step. That's right. It's the newest Monopoly Magic crossover. They're going to call it M&M's, but they're not allowed to because that's trademarked. But it is going to be spectacular. You're not ready for it. You're not set, but I know one thing. We're going to pass go. Pick up your $200 and get out.
Time. Okay.
Nice.
Constructive criticism. You're on the clock. Ready to go.
All
Let
right.
me take you back to a year, 2018. The most ambitious crossover in history. We have Infinity War happening. It was the meme to end all memes, we thought. But no, because Marvel and Magic come together. Planeswalkers, superheroes. Mason, take it away.
We're going to have the coolest cards you've ever seen at San Diego Comic-Con. It's going to sell out. It's going to crash the website. We're going to getting free copies from this stuff. We're going to have Iron Man and Karn on the same card working together for one. We're going to have Captain America and Gideon working together on a card. We're going to have Jarvis, Iron Man's computer, working with Jace. It's going to be an awesome crossover. The mechanics are going to work. It's going to be the coolest thing ever. Have you ever wanted to see Hulk and Angrath team up? I know I have.
Let's take it back to Halloween. What is going to be the most popular Halloween costumes this year? When we think about the theme of this show, it's going to be Marvel superheroes. Let's go, Wizards of the Coast.
All right.
It's time.
Off to rebuttals. Pondercast, you're on the clock.
Go.
All right. Well, first things first. I honestly, it's really ambitious of you to bankrupt Hasbro as they buy the licensing rights to Marvel. So that's going to be a really impressive maneuver for you. I'm really looking forward to seeing the inevitable actual downfall of this game just through purchasing those rights. But I believe you had some thoughts.
Yeah. So Marvel, honestly, is a little generic.
Oh, dang.
So we've all had an issue with Magic being a little too Planeswalker centric, right?
Yeah, go with something exciting like Monopoly. That's what we're arguing.
Chance, right? Chance is something you can end up on. Railroads are something you can end up on. There's an element of randomness here.
10 seconds.
And Thanos is like the opposite of randomness. So
No, his literally ability is literally random.
It's balanced. It's a card.
So we don't need a rebuttal phase. They rebuttal their own rebuttal. But I guess Mason can take it away.
I love this.
All right. So first off, you mentioned how you're going to get bankrupt from this. It's a team up for charity, so Marvel's going to help us. Like, it's going to be going towards the kids. It's not going to take money from us. Also, the idea that, it's too basic doesn't make sense. Like, as TJ pointed out with Monopoly is just, these are things that kind of vaguely make sense. These are cool team-ups. Remember, the point is to raise money for charity. The point isn't to be wacky out there. I want to do the thing that's going to help the kids the most, because I'm here to help the kids. And you know what's going to help the kids? Having Iron Man and Karn on the same card and be broken so that people have to buy it for Legacy. That is the thing that people are going to want. That is the thing that people are going to need for their collections to get the coolest cards for their deck. Marvel is going to work with us and have our cards. Human Torch, Chandra, bam. They're going to have the coolest cards in this set. It's going to be the thing you have to buy.
Sweet card.
10 seconds.
Honestly, the idea that Monopoly is going to help the kids, maybe 40 years ago when TJ and them were born, but let's be honest, it's not now.
I'm 27.
I actually knew that from Twitter today.
Holy shit, you're a baby.
All right, before we get
everybody.
Before we get the closing arguments, let's go to so we got Monopoly versus Marvel, Zuby. That's two quite different things.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't fucking understand the Monopoly game at all. It's like you're playing a Magic game and Monopoly at the same time?
Yeah.
Who the fuck would play that?
Magic players.
Yeah,
to be fair, EDH players take about as long to play a game as Monopoly players do.
That is true. That is true.
Spencer's always
EDH players tend to skew older.
I just barely fucking understood the Monopoly game. It was just fucking weird.
Hey, they made such bad points, I had to help them. That's all.
And then the Marvel Magic the Gathering thing, I mean, it's cool, but I don't know if I agree with having the Magic the Gathering players on the card as well.
Okay.
I feel like the Marvel character should be alone as the Planeswalkers. I think that'd be cooler. But that's just
Human Torch sounded sweet. That's all I'm saying.
All right. Johnny, how's it looks like Jim from Spike Feeders has joined us.
He has.
What's up, dude?
His phone is at 4%. Apparently people are showing up to vote way late.
People are showing up to vote. Great.
Vote regardless.
I think, Spike Feeder's Monopoly plus Magic equals competitive EDH.
Nobody enjoys playing it, not even the person who wins.
I get that Monopoly crossover. You're that's like going for the old folks. They got that money. So, it makes sense. I get it.
Johnny's choice is capitalism. Let's, PK,
I'm trying
what's
to get
in the
some
bones?
FOMO
Are
over here.
Are we?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the bones are. They left. Honestly, they just don't even know what the hell is going on anymore. But we're trying to hang on.
My brain
here.
is leaking. All right, I know that this is a crucial ending argument, especially for Ponder Blocks, because they have the potential to get knocked out in round 3, but maybe not. Let's see.
Isn't
let's
it
hear
round
the closing
4?
argument.
On round 4.
Yeah, this is round 4.
Yeah, this is round
round
4,
four.
John. You're not even drunk.
I'm too
The
sober
other
for this, I
round.
swear to.
Not that we know.
I know, but we gotta go fast because I'm supposed to record a podcast in about now. So we
Let's
gotta.
go.
We can
Okay.
wait.
You are recording a
I'll tell
podcast,
Jamie you're
TJ.
busy.
Facts. Those are the facts.
All
Okay,
right.
closing arguments.
Go ahead. Go.
Oh, those motherfuckers. Oh, whoops, I forgot to mute.
Language. If you want to talk
Okay,
about
we're gonna stop time. We're gonna reset and go ahead.
Here's the thing. Our esteemed opponents claim that they want to do this for charity. And yet, in their opening arguments, they claim that they'd be selling them at San Diego Comic-Con, like the greedy bastards that they actually are. This is no longer a charity event. They were arguing for a crossover, for a capitalistic production. And it's just not going to fly with Marvel. As we know when Sony tried it, that's just not going to get there. But beyond that, the truth is that you don't need to know how to play Monopoly Magic. Because I can tell you right now that I have got a Sword of Dungeons and Dragons, and I've got all of those right there. And you know how opened that box is? 0. I've got Planeswalker ones. You know how opened those are? 0. You don't open the product. You support a good cause, you put it on your shelf, and you hold nice, warm
10
memories
seconds.
alongside that product in its box, in its crisp, mint condition to one day be sold when you've got rent coming.
Time.
I'm ready to the slanderous claim
Yeah.
whenever
All right.
I can talk. All right.
Go ahead.
The reason we're at Comic-Con, you see, is because Magic players go there, and that's normally when they sell these products. But I also want to make sure I'm getting money from outside of just the Magic community. And I don't know if you know about Comic-Con, but people there like comics and stuff. So I got the comic book characters. I have them there in order to help sell, to help get more money to the kids. This Monopoly thing, it's weird, it's confusing, and it's going to lead to a thing where people are like, why am I buying this again? I'm not quite sure. Sure. Maybe you have people like TJ Rogers, of the host of the Ponder podcast, buying it to put on this wall. That's really cool. I like that. But I'm trying to get as many people as I can for this crossover that makes the most sense. It's a cool team up. It's going to be getting people from not only the Magic community, but the Marvel. And when the Magic anime launches on Netflix later next year, people are going to be like, oh, I have this card. I have the Iron Man version of that. And maybe that's the thing that gets them into Magic, and then they're able to get more money in the future and help the kids and do this
Comic-Con,
crossover.
Marvel, comics, Magic together, more money for the kids. I don't know how we're being greedy or awkward.
Going
This
Wu-Tang.
is just
We're
facts.
being smart.
That's time.
That's time. Okay. Whew, that was, oh man, what a match. Like, this has just been, my brain and my eyeballs feel like they're about to bleed. TJ's late for a real show. All right, so here we go.
This is the realest show there is, John.
I take it. Preach on.
No, we're doing great. We're doing great.
Here we go. Okay, just on surface value, if I was just picking which one I would rather play, let me say something. If Monopoly can make Fortnite, which I despise because I think that's crack cocaine for my son. If Monopoly can make Fortnite entertaining, which it has, I actually am a huge fan of Monopoly Fortnite. Then combining it with something else I love in Magic the Gathering, I think it's a win-win. Marvel, it's oversaturated. I just am kind of done with Marvel right now. However, so if I were just to pick on merits alone, I think that I would have to go with Ponder Blocks. However, for argument's sake and teamwork, I just think that constructive criticism kind of hummed like a fine-tooth machine. That's not the right thing to say, but
I like it.
And I liked, and both of them were involved a little bit more. Coleman, you were a little quiet on that one. I felt like TJ...
I feel like I didn't have anything to add to TJ. I feel like he really got the point across.
Yeah, I feel the same way, but part of the judging is on teamwork, and that was like giving me a delicious steak but leaving off the black pepper, the truffle sauce. So I have to say, this match completely goes to Constructed Criticism, winning our very first Team League match. 1-0 Constructed Criticism.
I'm coming for you, Jason Alt. I'm coming for you.
Ponder Blocks. I mean, you
Very
guys
good single.
rocked. You guys were absolutely fantastic. Always a great time. Coleman Falk and TJ Rogers just killing it. And I want to say real quick before we do our sign-offs, what a great thing for Magic to do with the whole charity thing for Seattle Children's. One of my kids just had surgery at Seattle Children's Hospital, and they treated her very well with care, like she was one of their own. So I appreciate that. But yeah, what a match, folks. PK, let's go to the closing interviews with our winners, Constructed Criticism, and our losers, but not by much, Team Ponder Blocks.
Yeah. So Constructed Criticism, closing statements here. What did you do to prepare for tonight's event?
I picked an awesome teammate.
Yeah.
And that's it.
I used to work night shift while I was in school. I watched hundreds of hours of Movie Fight. And then today I got on the podcast and I used my love of Magic and had a great time and had a lot of fun competing against TJ and Coleman. It was a blast.
Yeah,
Great.
follow at your neighbor TJ and at Slowly Crashing for some just awesome people. It was really fun to compete with them. Huge shout out to them. I had a lot of fun.
And
Yes.
if you who do you want to see next? If there you could just call out any name into the ether for you.
Brian
guys.
Gottlieb, Jerry Thompson, bring it.
Okay,
That's going to be one hell of a fight.
That's a get. All right, PK.
Yes. So over to the Ponder Blocks real quick. Closing statements. Where do you feel like you sort of started losing your grip tonight?
Well, I think I showed up late because I had to work an extra 30 minutes of work.
Oh, man.
And I think that's where 90% of it came from.
Stupid real life.
The other 10% was their concentrated power of will. It really deconstructs.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's a real thing.
Fort Minor was really the problem here.
Yeah,
Fort Minor ruined everything, honestly.
I'm
They're
on
the
the
worst.
rap theme today.
Yeah.
I dug it. I
Great.
really did.
That's great.
But also I want to point out this was one hell of a match.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yes.
And I would love to see you guys back on as well. If you could call out anybody's name into the ether as opponents, who would it be?
I'd like to fight Canner.
Canner?
Yeah.
That'd be a good one. That would be a good one. Honestly, I kind of want to see Melvin.
Oh, Melvin would be.
Yeah.
Melvin.
So fun.
Seeing a Muppet argue.
Yes.
Can't really get on him.
That would be so good.
A read on him, and I argue with him a decent amount of time, and
And it looks like you skinned one and put one on your head for the both of you, so that's already shots fired.
Oh,
actually,
dang.
yeah, this wasn't even for this show. This is to intimidate Melvin when we record.
Yeah, that's Melvin's brother too, so it's like really aggressive.
Perfect.
So
Let's
Melvin's related to the lobster.
all right. Let's thank you all. And the couch. What a match. This was crazy. Hard to keep up with, Zuby. I did not envy your job. It looked like the booze got you in the end. How you feeling, bud?
Oh, dude, I feel awesome. The Rays only got 3 more outs to go, and then they fucking win, man.
Oh my God! Nobody cares about baseball.
I fucking care, but you know what? These guys did a
Baseball's
great
the
job.
best sport on the earth.
Baseball.
Exactly. So you know,
according to
in my heart, Ponder Blocks won. I don't care what the judge says.
Oh, okay. Johnny Slivers, any closing statements from the chat? And what were your thoughts on the first team league match?
I think this show was nuts.
It was
like
pretty
a
nuts.
madhouse. Like the back and forth. This was amazing. You took my questions and did more than I could have ever hoped for with them. That was amazing.
Yeah.
So, bravo
I'm
to
just happy
both.
we won on Ghostface.
Ghostface. I like Ghostface. I
was
love
great.
that. Like I love that little like kind of real under the radar shot at the basic nature of pumpkin spice. You got me there. And yeah, I'm like this was close. I don't envy John for having to judge this one because man, that was rough.
Huge thanks to all the chat too. Let's just stay with the couch real quick, do the sign-offs because we got to take off. But unceremoniously, let's start with Magic with Zuby. Where can everyone find you?
Magic Zuby can be found on the following on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, and TuneIn Radio, and Spotify now. Ooh, awesome. Woohoo! And then I can also be found on Facebook.com/MagicWithZuby, on Twitter @MagicWithZuby, on Instagram at Magic_with_Zuby, and you can email me with any questions you may have at mtgzuby@gmail.com.
Best sign off in the business. Johnny Slivers, try to follow that up.
No. You can find me here in this space. You can find me on the Twitters at Johnny Slivers. And then you can find me over at my Cackling Carnarium channel, where I am periodically just stumbling through the history of Magic cards in my EDH study hall of, like, learning the cards, which will take me years. And the content will never go away because there's always going to be more cards. Thank you.
Excellent. Great job. Big round of applause for the questions this week. Really strong suit.
They were really awesome. I loved them.
They were great. PK, my co-host tonight, where can everyone find you, friend?
You can find me on YouTube or on Twitch. I'll be streaming tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Pixie Kitten Plays. Come stop by. Say hi.
Excellent. Hi. Ponder Blocks. We'll start with TJ Rogers. Where can everyone find you, sir?
You can find the podcast Ponder on anywhere that you find your podcasts, or on Twitter at Ponder_podcast. And you can find me under the handle Your Neighbor TJ, and you'll find me on Twitch, Twitter, Patreon, pretty much anywhere that you can look, you'll find me.
Excellent. Coleman Falk from the Building Blocks podcast. Now I'm just going to call it Ponder Blocks because that's like stuck in my brain, but it's actually the Building Blocks podcast.
You know, we'll go with it. So you can find the podcast at Blocks Podcast, 2 words, capitalize each letter. Twitter.com.
It's important.
Yeah. You can find myself at twitter.com/slowlycrashing. We're taking requests for future decks that you would like us to cover.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for carving out some time for us in your busy schedule. Really appreciate it. Over to Team Constructive Criticism, Mason Clark. Where can everyone find you, sir?
You can find me at Mason E. Clark on Twitter. You can go to twitch.tv/TheMasonClark, where I stream all my tournament preparation whenever I'm streaming that kind of stuff. And you can now check me out every week on the SCG Tour. I'm going to be playing all of those. So that's where you can find me.
Excellent. And Spencer Howland, take us home.
Yeah, you can find me at Spencer13H. You can find the podcast at CCMTG. You can join the Constructive Criticism Discord, where we're doing a quarterly free $500 tournament for anyone in the Discord. You can join that. It's an arena tournament, so don't forget to check that out. I'll give the link to They Said We Said to put that over in the show notes so that you can be a part of that. And just before we go, I just want to give a super shout out to John, PK, Zuby, and the other John. Just thank you so much. This was a ton of fun. And shout out to our competitors, TJ and Coleman. I had a blast. This was legitimately a great time.
Thank you so much. That is the point, is to, for glory and to have a good time. If you like this show, go ahead and click that subscribe button. Share it around. Tell everyone that we exist. You could find me, talk movies or magic with me on Twitter at OrzovDunn. Follow us, or come back to the channel tomorrow night, because I'll be sitting down with Vorthos Mike talking about some upcoming Magic Art Gallery events for the Magic Art Gallery projects. Also, I could just quickly spoil the next episode live on Supreme Verdict is on the 29th, which is Tuesday at the end of the month. It's another singles match between Z-Bex, so awesome cosplayer. We also have Aaron from Turn 1 Thoughtseize going against Ruben Bressler from Magic Mike's podcast. So that is
that's going to be a good match.
That's going to be a real good match. We have the championship coming up in December, but that's going to farm a nice competitor in the future for that. So thank you for all the competitors. Thank you for the panel for helping out, and we'll see you next time. Let's wipe the board.
Bye.